What's up, everybody? We are back at the Collab and Create studio right here in Henderson, Nevada. And a little while ago, I dropped a video talking about how we turned this small room into a podcast studio. But so much has changed in the last 2 months, and I really feel compelled to show you guys an update. So I'm going to show you guys everything that we're using right here in Henderson, Nevada to create all the podcasts that we create. And I'm going to drop links for you guys to be able to pick this gear up right below. So let's get started, man. I always like to go in order of AVL: audio, video, and then lighting. So first we'll talk audio. Before I show you guys the audio, I want to show you guys what the studio looks like now compared to the last video that we showed you. This is what we got going on here now. So let's get into the audio. For audio, we are using the Shure 7MB mics right here. These mics are super crispy. They sound great. If you know anything about the brand, then you already know. One thing we do want to do is get into using the L-shaped XLR cables, because we don't like this bend here. So when I drop the link for the cable, well, I won't even drop link for cables. I'll just recommend that you guys use the L-shaped XLR cables. But the links to these mics will be right below. Here's the other one right here. This one's a slightly different model number, but the same quality coming out of this one. So Shure, I think this is 7XMB or something like that. I'll throw the real name of it. Now that's what we're doing for audio. We are running these mics via XLR right into our Sony FX30. So it's plugged into the top handle. We got top handles for both cameras here. We're running XLR mics right into these because we only have a 2-person setup. When we get into doing 4-person setups, then we'll go ahead and maybe use one of those Rode mixer machine things. I don't even know the name for that, but that's what we're doing for audio. We're running it right into the top handle, baking that audio right into the file. And one other thing I want to mention while we're on the subject of audio, I didn't want to talk about the switcher yet, but that audio is coming into our switcher via HDMI too. Now let's get in the video. We already mentioned the Sony FX30s. That is what we're using for our 2 close shots. And for a wide shot, that's this camera that I'm actually using right here, which is the Sony a6700 with the Sigma 16mm on it for the wide shot. That's sort of what you get with the wide shot right there. And we'll usually throw our client's logo up on the screen here. That's actually a new addition we just added to the studio. So Sony FX30s, highly recommend it. I'll drop the links to these below. These are very good cinema line Sony cameras. They are pretty much the crop sensor version to the Sony FX3. And mounted to it, I have the Sigma 35-150. What we use as far as lenses can vary. We got the 28-75 here, and we'll also use the 16-55 every now and then. So it just depends. If you got a small space like we do, I highly recommend the Sony 50mm f1.8 because you get that you can create more depth by blurring the background out a little more. So that's what we're doing here for video. Let's talk lighting. For lighting, we have 2 Amaran 100 DS's mounted up high. They are on light stands for now. We will be probably mounting them up there pretty soon so that we can get the lighting off of stands. And we also want to mount the cameras to the wall. That way we always have the same position rather than having them on tripods. So that's what we're doing for lighting. We got both 100 DS's with this one has a small rig lantern on it. This one has a sort of a probably aftermarket brand, but I'll throw the link to the small rig lantern in there because that's obviously going to be the better brand. Now let's talk about props, and I won't get too deep into this, but these are, I don't even know what this is called. It's from IKEA. You see it in a lot of podcasts, but I do have the link for this linked below. I will have that link. I don't remember what it's called right now, but you'll know based off the link. This is from IKEA. You can order it online. We got one here and one there, so that if you watch any of our podcasts, which will be linked below as well, you'll see how we use these and why we put them where we put them. So you're gonna get it adds a little more depth behind the subject. So that's what we're doing. That's my AVL. As far as, let's talk switcher. In my little crazy corner here, we got the Blackmagic ATEM Mini Pro. it's a case by case type of situation with the switcher. On any podcast where we actually use the switcher, we plug all 3 cameras right in, and I won't get too deep into the switcher because if you know how to use one, you know how to use it. That's a whole nother video. But we do have the capability of live switching right here. We could even plug that switcher into the MacBook here and live stream straight to Instagram. So that's another option for clients that we're testing out. We have produced a few podcasts off the switcher, but yeah, we'll do a whole video on switching and stuff like that. That's a whole nother conversation in itself. But that's the studio, man. This is what we're working with now, and yeah, man, I will keep you guys updated as we do more and more here. I forgot to talk to you guys about the paint too. The back of the room just got painted in gray this past weekend, and it looks amazing. If you watched the last video, you'll see the big difference here. And yeah, that's it, man. You got a couple corner lights back there, which we can change the color of. And then we have a couple of these panel lights back there just to create a little more daylight coming up from the bottom. So that's the studio, man. That's how we transform this small room. It's just a regular small room into a full podcast studio. So that's it for today, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.